If you could change one rule in the NFL, what would it be and why? Mike, how about you?
I'm starting with
Oh,
this
there
one.
we go. Tom
This
wants
one's
to
very
go first.
simple. I would like the pass catchers to have their legs protected on defenseless catches. When they're defenseless receivers in the process of catching the ball, I don't believe that anyone should hit them in the knees. This should be a rule. Nelson, you need to send this to NFL. This really makes me angry. They're the only position on the field whose knees are not protected anymore, and it's a really stupid rule. And it's just, I agree that, yeah, that one's really because every other position, quarterbacks are protected. For example, we're in the pocket passing.
Yep.
Nobody can come and hit us on our knees. If you're a defensive lineman engaged in a block, no other lineman can come and cut you on your knees. Even now when you're playing corner, the receiver can't come up on a run play and cut you, even though you're somewhat, defending yourself. But a receiver, when you're looking back for a ball, you can have someone come and aim right at your knees and hit you. So I think that it's not really fair for the protection of, the pass catchers. So
like
really irritates me. That's why I'm sorry I had to jump at it.
I appreciate this. I mean,
I've
to
seen a
not know
lot
the
of
question ahead of time, and I could tell you were ready, locked and loaded, ready to go with this.
I thought about it for a long time. I tried to address it with the NFLPA because I feel like it's something that there needs to be conscious thought put into. These guys are running 4-3 down the field. You have a safety that's running 4-3. Every player would chose to get hit from the knees up, but they're the only players where they're not protected from the knees down.
Like Mike, you feel protected by your QB over here? He's
definitely
looking
do.
out for you. Yeah.
Definitely do. Well, he does a great job always protecting the receivers and the pass catchers always because he has a great feel of where they're coming from.
Tom's actually been talking about this for a while now. As you can see from this article, he's been saying it since 2015, and I would imagine he'd be talking about this a lot earlier as well. But this is just an example of why players want to play with Tom. He cares about his players, and he wants to make sure that the receivers aren't in a vulnerable position when he's throwing to them. So he makes sure he gives them the best passes possible in the best positions possible. That's how much this man is on top of his game.
But a rule I would change, something similar, like the hits to the head. I mean, I don't mind it as long as it's like the shoulder or something like that. I don't mind. I don't want people going for the legs, really. But other than that, I mean, the rules are fine to me.
I like that. I feel like that's really cool to know. That's something that I'm sure a lot of fans wouldn't know about Tom, is the ways that he helps protect you in a game. That's something that a fan isn't going to know watching, and so that's a really cool thing.
That's why guys love playing with Tom. He's gonna protect us across the middle and things like that. So when you go in there, you got to worry about it.
I think the one thing about football that's changed over the years, which I think is really hard for someone like me who's played a long time to watch, is it's not being taught the right way. Like a quarterback should only throw the ball to certain places because your receiver is in danger of getting hit. For example, when I used to play against Ray Lewis, I wouldn't throw the ball to the middle of the field because he'd go after you and he would hit and we didn't always have the biggest receivers, but he would hit him and knock him out of the game. And now every hard hit is a penalty on the defense. So I feel like they penalize defensive players for offensive mistakes. So, if a quarterback, I was watching the Chicago Bear game, the quarterback messes up, doesn't see the blitzer, or the line screws up. I don't know what happened. But the quarterback or the line on offense, the defensive player comes in and hits him hard, and they throw a flag on the defense. So they've almost moved the protection of your opponent to you, as opposed to where it should be, which is on yourself. Like if you're a quarterback, you got to protect yourself and your players. It shouldn't be the responsibility of your opponent to protect you. And I think that's it creates really bad habits for players because you feel like I can basically do anything. I could run and not slide. I can throw my receiver into any coverage and not have any repercussion for it. The only thing they're going to do is they're actually going to blame the defensive player for making a good, solid hit, and now the defensive player is going to feel like, oh, I can't do that, even though I feel like it was an offensive mistake. So in the end, I think it's a really disservice to the sport. Because the sport isn't being played at a high level like I believe that it once was. It actually deteriorates because you're not teaching the players the reasons and the fundamentals of what the sport should be.